What's up, people, and welcome on into the Put It in the Book Show, Season 7, Episode number 15. I am Steve. What's going on, people? I got Keith. He's I don't know what's happening. He's lost a little piece of the head there. Could have been the palm tree. Also, earlier, right before the show started,
this is my med sensitivity side of my brain, and it's just going away.
What's up, everybody? Leg sticking out of his skull just a few minutes ago. So, Keith, it's just the two of us today, so not big on intros. What's going on with you, my friend? How's life going? How's life hanging?
Life is going good, man. I mean, listen, could be going better. We could have won 5 games at home, but I'll take the 4-3 home stand. We're no longer a playoff team. The Marlins are obviously better. Obviously. But, I'm living. How you doing, bro?
Especially after all their great trades that they made to retain their top-tier talent.
Oh, yeah. Are we going to jump into those trades or?
Yeah, we'll get to them in a moment. But first, obviously, as I said, we're just us today. Producer Joe, Keith, you're going to have to find somebody else to suck up to in this episode. And you're really running out of options here. So producer Joe not with us today. He's out gallivanting somewhere in the city. Rodriguez is doing something he is actually getting paid to do. So, that's that. And so it's just the two of us today. And we're going to get to a lot of stuff, right? Trade deadline.
We're going to make it if we try, right?
Of course.
Just the
I
two
believe
of us?
in you. You believe in me. It's all,
You and
that's
I.
That's not the next words to the song, but I started saying it before I knew that where you're going with the song thing. See the chemistry here? See the chemistry. Trade deadline stuff. We'll get into what Vientos has been able to continue to accomplish the last series against Twins. And then a monster road trip coming up, Keith. Got a 10-game road trip that we're going to talk about towards the tail end of this thing. But it's a big, important road trip, and we'll get to all that stuff and more. But wait. Before we hit the opening, I have something to say about a social media company. It might be, some people might get upset with this, but screw you, X, Twitter. Screw hi, look at this. Look, you see these? Why am I saying screw you? Because they've changed the rules around to the point where if we want to put our content out live on Twitter or X, we got to pay. So double 2-finger salute to you jack offs. Thanks a lot, Elon. Let's get to it.
Pull up the bullets.
All right, welcome on back in to everybody watching on YouTube and Facebook and not on Twitter. Can't say hi to people that are not watching on a social media deal. Max. See? Max is smart. Max joins us when his cousin's not here. He gets some airtime. It's all good.
Max,
all right.
I'm waiting for the famous Max Berni that your cousin has told me about.
He's told us a lot about that. So we're patiently waiting on all that stuff. We got a Rodriguez. All right, so we got a Rodriguez replacement. I like it. Let's jump right into what the Mets did at the trade deadline. Keith, kind of bringing in some help for the pen, bringing in some help for the starting rotation after unfortunate news we got out of Kodai Senga. Another thing that we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah, let's leave
and
that.
Then
let's leave that in the trunk because it just really
just slammed it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And also addressed an outfield situation with our former nemesis, Jesse Winker. So what was your overall impression of the deadline moves that the Mets made?
I think we've made some great moves. I really appreciated what David Stern did. You know, I'm pausing because I just have to. Jesse Winker was a bittersweet move. I couldn't stand him, but I really respected him because, like, I couldn't stand him just because he was a troll. But he wasn't. He wasn't outside the lines troll.
A respectful troll.
He was a respectful troll. Even like when the Mets fans, like that one story that a lot of Met fans know, and if you don't, look it up on YouTube. It's pretty cool. Where in left field they were trolling the heck out of him, and I think they were calling him a jerk or an a-hole or whatever it was, and he signed the ball according to what they were naming him, and then put his signature on it and threw it back. So it's all for fun, and I can really respect that. And I'm glad that we have somebody with that kind of energy and enthusiasm for the game on the team. And the little, thing with Pete Alonso, I don't know what that was.
I don't know what's happening there.
I could say a lot of weird things about that, but hey, if he fits in, he fits in.
And apparently he fits in. Pete just went right with it.
He went right with it. They're probably cold plunging together and nude and everything. But all kidding aside, strictly baseball. The guy is a baller. He gets out there. He does what he has to do. He's not the best player on the field, but he probably is one of the hardest working players that go out there, and he can hit. And he's going to have moments. He's one of those players that annoy other teams. He gets those hits when you don't want him to get those hits. So I'm glad he's on our side and no longer outside of that.
Yeah, he had. Remember, he was really productive player against the Reds. That's when that whole thing was kind of going on. And I had actually forgotten about those rather like I said, respectful interviews. The interviews that he did afterwards, where they asked him about
respectful interviews. Yeah,
yeah.
I put that out of mind based on his.
Me too. Like, screw you, buddy. Oh, wait. After we get him, oh, look, see, he was being nice. He was a nice troll. But he loved he said he loved the enthusiasm that the fans have for the team, and
he never said anything bad for us ever about us,
ever. And if he did,
but he pissed me off a whole lot to the point where it was really hard to accept the fact that he's a Met. I did a triple take you offline when we did the trade. The first thing I said was, "Damn, I got to start liking this a-hole."
Oh man! And then obviously he the fans welcomed him with open arms up there, and so the team the team had his respect already. So obviously there's a thing, players and fans and players, and they had respect for him. So that's what matters.
What do you think about Blackburn or tomorrow night's starter?
Tomorrow night start. So the initial thought is always coming from the A's. He must suck, but his stats, his underlying stats are so. 4-2 ERA around 4, which is what is that better than average these days? And he started the year off. He's only made 9 starts. Started the year off with a stress fracture in his foot, I think it was. So he's fresh. It's a fresh arm. We can think of it that way too. But as Rodriguez said, we can always relate it back to fantasy. He's been a solid fantasy plug-in, so he's going to be solid. I really think he'll give the Mets the opportunity to win each time out there. As tomorrow he'll probably give up 8 runs in inning and a third. Adrian Hauser has been released.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean that was the direction. I mean,
And anymore. And I think he wants to latch on anywhere that he can start. But sorry, I drove us off course there.
no. You know, it's kind of all relative, right? Because he was released based off of these moves. You know, and he had a couple of moments with us, but um, and going further, of course, I'll bring it back. I promise, real quick, because I have a question for you regarding our trades. But Stern's ability to just go, you know, and move away from players, drop them into the minors, get rid of them, DFA them. I really have to appreciate that, and you know, it's helping me as a Met fan to learn to just remove my feelings from players and focus my feelings on team wins. And Stern he's really good at it. You know, and I got to be honest, I even think a player, and I'm going further, of course, now, sorry. I think a player like Ottavino might be on that list of Stearns is, you know, we'll see. I love Ottavino, but it is what it is. So bringing us back to the topic, what do you think of Ryan Stanek?
Stanek is he's one of the from the Blue Jays, right? Or no, the Mariners. He pitched also pitched for the Blue Jays. I think it's kind of along the same lines. He's middling type of a guy, but I also believe we didn't give up anything for in any of these trades, anything of significance. So
that was the biggest. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but because you said that, I just want to say that was my biggest like joy as a Met fan is that Stearns kept the focus on future and present by not really giving up so much future for our present. Oh my God, it was. I am in a state of euphoria as a Met fan, even though I know we're not like the World Series team, but our direction is on an incline, and it's beautiful, Farace.
That's right. You know, 1,000% right. Max says the New York, we can score Mets. We can score now. that's true.
Max, how many times would your cousin roll his eyes at me by this point?
2 B+ or A starters, or send Beatty plus 2 other rookies, trade to the Yankees, get Soto. That was not going to happen, dude. The Yankees are going to go for it this year. However, in the offseason, it's Mets or Yankees. That's going to be very interesting. But we're not going to go too far down that road right now.
Where he's at. If he wants to stay there, then good luck. Good luck to him. I'm not desperate for Soto. As a matter of fact,
we're not desperate. We're signing him. It's happening.
I would love to have him on our team, of course. Put him on right, and that's where he sits for the next like 8 years. But I'm not like desperate as a fan for Soto. I'm not. I have faith in Stearns and him building our depth around superstars. And if he's not one of those superstars that wants to win 5 out of the next 8 championships, that's on him.
But I think the gem haul for the pen is you want to take the name Brazaban from the Marlins. Exactly, you had it right there.
I honestly, I've read his name once, and I said to Farace before the show started, like I was promising to learn this guy's name. I didn't do it, so I'm a fail. But
well, listen, you see a lot of these. You see a lot of these bullpen guys that don't flourish until they're a little bit older, and guys that come out of nowhere and start lighting stuff up. I watched this guy pitch 2 innings back-to-back days down here against the Marlins, down here against the Marlins, but he was pitching against Mets at the time, and he shut us down in both games. Got an ERA sub 3, and he's under control for 2 more years. I don't think he's arbitration eligible to like 2026.
Huascar Brazoban. Yeah, he's a vet for sure. The thing with the bullpen is, and we all know this, outside of the show, we've discussed this a lot. It's volatile. You don't know who's going to be what from year to year. The only
Very,
thing that's really
very.
consistent is some starters and some closers. Everything in between is like, who knows? It's a gamble. But this guy, he seems like you said to be coming into his own, especially at his age. He's 34 years old right now. He might be learning how just to be so crafty that he can be that reliever that we really need for that seventh and eighth inning start, or not start, but relief.
Dom, we did get a starter.
Blackburn, he's pitching tomorrow, baby.
I saw a lot of of course we're Met fans. I saw a lot of we didn't get a big name. No big names really moved. No big names really moved.
So there were 19 buyers and 11 sellers. I don't know off the top of my head, but I was going through the names that moved. There's no real pitcher out there that moved that I said to myself, man, we should have sold the farm for this guy. And we're not in a sold the farm kind of year. We're in a let's get into the playoffs. Let's get a taste, a little bit of blood in your mouth taste, where you're hungry for that blood next year. And in the off season, when we get into free agency, let's get it, baby. But it's just we're not in that position. And Met fans don't understand the term patience. I'm one. I'm with you.
We're all, to an extent, we're all impatient.
Yeah, but we need a little patience. We're in the right direction.
The only interesting thing that I saw that was like spun out there, I don't know how. I know that they were in on him because what's his name was Gelbs was talking about it on the pregame show on Blake Snell. And so the interesting thing on that was they had talked about if anybody was going to do it, it would have been the Mets because they could have held back on, like what you said before, could have held back on mortgaging the future by using their financial muscle and paying more of his contract.
But remember, we're also deep into it financially with a lot of bad contracts that the Cohen era is trying to wait out.
But we saved $17 million on Verlander.
Did that happen already?
Yes, but yeah, he would have to. So it was an innings cap that where the Mets would kick in an extra $17 million. So it's an innings cap, and he's just about to come back, and he would have to pitch every start into extra innings.
And next year's that's it, right? After next year, that we're done with this.
Yeah, so the Mets just saved $17 million. Thank you, Justin Verlander. Next year, that's Soto's money.
Did you see David Wright? Soto subject exchange.
Yeah, let's go that way.
Oh my God, I want to go just super happy right now. Every time he's in the stadium, I see him as like sitting next to Gary Cohen. I see him as a third base coach. I see him as a hitting coach. I see him as the manager. Like, I have so much love for this guy. And then when he stands there and then he says all these wonderful, intelligent Mets prevalent things and then smiles, I'm in love all over again. I love David Wright. Sorry. I will never stop loving David Wright, the captain. Hopefully he comes back and as his kids get older and becomes an intricate part of this team. Sorry, had to break for that. I'm sure you agree.
I have a little, may or may not have a little man crush on the captain.
I do too. I mean, like,
nothing wrong with that.
He does all this kind of stuff, and he has this like beautiful smile. And
he's got a great smile.
My wife, that maybe
what a lucky wife
is becoming on the rocks because David Wright smiled.
He smiled directly at you.
Yeah,
I saw it. Dom says, I don't think we go far with the starting staff we have now.
Well,
listen, if you look at what they've done the last few games, they're going deeper in the game, saving the pen some stress, and also if you believe this, which who knows, if the Mets get into the playoffs, you're going to see Kodai Senga come back.
Let me use a little
just
Boston
remember that.
terminology here that the Mets can be real pesky in the playoffs.
For real. Listen, I picked the Mets to win 85 games or so this year, and right in the mix for a wild card spot.
There right now.
On the other show, the unsportsmanlike conduct, I was kind of laughed at after the Mets start. I was laughed at even more after the 9-19 May, and now crickets. Not Timmy. Timmy doesn't go after me on the Mets. Timmy will only go after the Mets if somebody's being a jerk in the comments, and he'll say, This is not for you, Steve.
I think if Senga didn't get hurt again, we can realistically approach 90.
Yes,
but
yes,
probably not. I'm guessing between about 85, 87, that ballpark, and I'm also guessing a wild card berth.
Yeah, I think now, and what we all said was that the summer was going to be, and remember exactly what we said. I remember the conversation right before the season started. We're going to have less big name stars because we had Verlander and Scherzer and these guys last year. But with the kids coming up, it had the potential to be a really exciting season. You got 40,000 coming out on a Thursday night. Last week, got big crowd for the Twins series too. So fans are showing the love, Keith.
I think a lot of that crowd last weekend had to do with some of the giveaways.
The Lindor thing was the Friday night, but the Thursday night game was like.
You still have to have the motivation to believe in your team to get their giveaway or not, because you can give away a gold-headed Bartolo.
The Marlins do giveaways.
Barbell doll, bobbleheaded figurine, and if I thought we sucked,
what just happened, Keith? What just happened?
I don't know. I said barbell doll. I raised a daughter. I went from Barbie to Barbell. To Bartolo. Leave me alone. But yeah,
it's funny. The what about down here? They say the first 8,000 fans they're gonna get 8,000.
First 8,000 fans, right? First 10 fans that come in, yay! We got 12 fans tonight. That's the Marlins life. But it's not just that, but the crowd that was there was so live and active.
Yep.
I mean, it was so much fun just to watch the Mets and the Mets fans root them on. It was a great series. I wish we didn't lose those last two games against the Braves. I wish we split them and we won 3 out of the 4. But it is what it is. Listen, 5 wins, 4 wins, 4 wins. Right? Is really not bad if you think about it.
And we can kind of continued the trend of beating up on the other team's best starters. Chris, not beat up. Let me not say that we beat up Chris Sale, but we beat Chris Sale. Lindor, and I want to get to that too. I want to get to what the hell Lindor did in the month of July. 9 home runs, 23 RBI.
Yeah, he's great.
Squirrel came alive. He had 17 RBI, and Vientos had 17 RBI. Those were the top 3, and that's big. The McNeil coming alive because JD Martinez didn't have a great month, but JD Martinez up to 47 RBI. Pete didn't have a great month, but McNeil stepped up finally, and right when and he did it right in front of Rodriguez. Rodriguez went to that game when McNeil had a couple bombs. Mets lost that game, but
no, but even though he's hitting home runs, I see him throwing the bat at the ball instead of trying to golf swing home runs. I see. I don't know what changed him. Hopefully, it was Rodriguez. There you go, buddy. But he's really even. I think the third baseman was playing in on Sunday, and he just kind of threw the bat at the ball. Literally, it could have almost left his hands the way he threw the bat at the ball, and he threw it right over the third baseman's head and got a hit out of it. So that's the McNeil. Wow, that's the Jeff McNeil we're looking for. The guy that just puts the ball where they ain't, you know.
Right.
And that's why he was a number 2 hitter for so long. But he just stopped doing that. I don't know what was going on with him. His mentality just went to another place.
Well, the Gelbs did a report, and he said, he just said one day I'm gonna stop trying to slap it this way and stop slapping it that way and just hit the ball as hard as I can.
No, slap it, buddy.
and
Slap
and
that
so
ass.
do you remember we had a conversation on the show before they banned the shift, and we talked about the guys who were beating the shift potentially having a difficult time with no shift, and I think McNeil was a victim of that. I think
That's a good point. It's a good point.
I think he continued to try and do things the same way, thinking that you were going to get the same results when the defensive minds have changed. Remember they didn't really shift too much against him. They had that hole on the left side, but he made them aware that he can go the other way. But now it's not that big of a deal. You go the other way, hit the ball at the middle, because that ball at the middle that stopped being a base hit is now a base hit again.
So he totally lost that hit him when they ain't consciousness. So that's a really good point, right? But prior to the elimination of the shift, right, before it got super shift heavy, he was still doing that. He was slapping the ball here, there, and everywhere. Then the shift came in, and he was like, he feasted on it.
Oh yeah, won a batting title.
Good car from Lindor. And then when he moved it back to like shift his band, you're right. He just kind of fell off the edge a little bit.
He didn't make the adjustment.
Yeah, we'll see how Oscar Brazoban does against him.
Hey,
I did it.
Forget about it. All right, just a few stats for the month of July. Lindor, 274, 9 home runs, 23 RBI, and 7 stolen bases.
Can we stop right there? Okay, go ahead.
All right. Mark Vientos, 283, 6 and 17.
Can we stop right there?
Yep. Give a little clap there.
Okay, go ahead.
Iglesias continues to hit over 300 every month. 307. 307 for the month. Yes. But then, like I said, JD Martinez didn't have a good batting average month, 235. He still drove in 13 runs.
His presence still has a difference maker.
Absolutely. He's a quarter of an inch from breaking his slump every time.
Every time he does something, I just want to say, "Oh my God!"
Big Pete didn't have a good batting average month, 231, but hit 5 home runs, 11 RBI. Nimmo really struggled after the All-Star break, so he finished the month just batting 188, but 15 RBI. Still the team lead in RBI. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, obviously he's no knock on him.
He's making the most out of the 188.
I think he's just getting banged up a little bit. And I think that it's impacting his performance. I hope this little break. I wish we sat him yesterday, to be completely honest. Him and Alvarez. I wish we sat him yesterday. So that way they can have a couple of days off. I think they need a couple of days off. They're both getting dinged up a little bit. The thing with Alvarez at that home plate, where he got turned around and hurt his shoulder a little bit. And social media decided to criticize him. But you know what? The guy was off his back feet, on his front feet, throwing his glove out, and he got spun around. Anybody, I don't care if you're 5'5" or 6'10", it would have threw you off. So I think
people, man.
Players like Nemo and Alvarez need a little break. Just throwing it out.
And it's okay because Torrens has played very well.
He has
as the backup.
Alvarez is better.
Of course, but just to spell him for maybe the first couple of games in the LA series. The thing about the LA series is, you had the Wednesday day game, so you got the rest of that night. You got all of Thursday, and then you got deep into the night on Friday. But it wouldn't hurt. Like, he's a suitable fill-in guy where we have not had a suitable backup catcher. We've not had a suitable primary catcher until Alvarez.
Since Todd Pratt. Let me just say, we really haven't a good backup catcher since Todd Pratt. Don't laugh.
Wait, no.
Wait.
I said we haven't had a good primary catcher either, and then you said Todd Pratt. So I thought you were being
Todd Pratt
sarcastic.
even was our primary catcher at one point.
He was. He had a little home run playoffs.
I like Todd Pratt, the tank. Yeah. I mean, I can't lie. Todd Pratt was one of my favorite matches.
Jaime says,
it's nice to see another part of Stearns. Credit back to Stearns is the depth he's building on this team at every position, even bullpen and starting, right? And we might not like the depth that comes in, but it's so much better than what we've had in the past when our starters have fallen out.
We've had to bring in guys off the trash heap.
Yeah, he's making Mendy's job so much easier. Mendy's been doing a good job, but he's making Mendy's job so much easier. It really is.
Jaime says Lindor should be named captain. I think they should wait until whatever happens with Pete's contract gets resolved to name any sort of captain. MVP conversation, absolutely, he's going to be in the conversation. He's not going to win it probably because of that start. I haven't looked to see who's
pause real quick. Do you think there's a little hate out there for Lindor when it comes to awards, Gold Gloves, and MVP? Because I feel like he doesn't get the love he should get.
I think it was evident by the All-Star snub.
Yep.
Like,
there you go. Yeah.
He was in the top 15 and whatever stat it was, and all the other 14 guys were on the All-Star team.
Can I just say you're so handsome, Farace?
Thank you. Stop it. And Nimmo too. There was another stat where it was like the top 17 guys were All-Stars, and two of the three guys not on the All-Star team were both Nimmo and Lindor.
Did you mean to say two of the tree?
Two of the tree.
You froze.
Two of the tree.
Your face. Oh, there you go. You're back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, your face was like this.
No.
Who's
NL MVP? I want
to
see
Harper. I hate to say it. A lot of people are gonna get mad at me.
What is wrong with you? Don't say that word.
I know, bro. You know how much I hate him.
All right, I have the odds.
You have watched us in the last 5 or 6 years. Know how much I hate him, but Bryce Harper's been really lifting his team up when they. Yeah.
No, screw that guy. That team has lost 4 or 5 series in a row. Screw you, Bryce Harper, you jerk. I hate that guy.
You know
I don't
how much
care how nice he is to people and this. I don't care.
So you know how much it was hurtful for me to say that, but he's been.
I know. Here, AL MVP odds, really, really quick. I know we're in the National League. Top 3.
Gunnar Henderson.
All right, we'll do top 5. Jose Ramirez is 5. Juan Soto is 4. Gunnar Henderson. Hey, Diana. Welcome in. Let's go, Mets. Gunnar Henderson is right now 3rd.
Anna.
Bobby Witt Jr. is 2nd because the Royals are still good. They're like 60 and 49 or something like that. And then Aaron Judge is the favorite for MVP. In the National League, top 5. Got a wife beater in here. Marcell Ozuna, number 5.
You know, let me pause right there, you little freaking woman abusing criminal jerk. We don't forget as Met fans what a POS you are, and I'm not talking about point of sale. I'm talking about a piece of you beat women. You know, like if you were a football player and you did that, you would get canceled in like 10 seconds. I don't know why when you're in Atlanta and you do things like that, you get away with it, but you don't deserve any awards. You don't even deserve to be playing the game of baseball, which is a time tradition, which is a time tradition in America. You really don't deserve it. I do respect his talent. I just don't respect his behavior, and I don't respect anybody giving him any kind of kudos knowing his behavior.
I'm getting a lot of hate in the comments and we're loving it.
Steve, if you punched, I know your wife. I know her personally. If you went and punched her, I would have zero respect for you.
Of
She's
course,
a woman.
she is.
That's just my point. Yeah. She can punch you. You probably deserve it. But this guy hit his wife. This guy hit the same thing with me. Don't worry. If my wife hit me, I can probably tell you I deserved it. But this guy hit his wife.
Yes.
He deserves no rewards. He doesn't even deserve to play the game of baseball, which is a privilege in itself.
Hate him. By the way, I know this guy used to be a rival of ours, but best wishes. I don't know what's going on yet, but Freddie Freeman had to take some time away from the team. Something going on with his 3-year-old son. So obviously that takes precedent over
so
all
much
things.
Respect for Freddie Freeman. I hate him.
Yeah, right.
So much respect for him.
But he's and we never said that. That's the difference between him and Chipper. Never said we respected Chipper Jones.
Oh, fuck Chipper Jones. See my language.
Yeah.
He broke the curse language. Fuck Chipper Jones.
All right. Ozuna is 5. Ketel Marte from the Diamondbacks is 4. Francisco Lindor, currently the 3rd favorite. Hey, Brandon Nimmo's in the top 10 also. He's 9. Nice. I like that. Bryce Harper is number 2, that douchebag from Philly that wants to bring a title back to DC. And number 1, no surprise, the heavy favorite is Shohei Ohtani. So
I'm sick of Shohei. Tired of hearing that crap.
Mets have never had an MVP, and Shohei is in the National League for the foreseeable future. This guy's gonna.
Darryl should have been the MVP at least 2 years as a Met. I really truly think that Lindor is more important to this team's success, and his performance has proven that this year than anybody in the league. I'm just going to say Lindor 100%. But if it's not Lindor, I know a lot of my fans are going to hate this, but it should be Bryce.
Don't say that.
It should be Bryce if it's not Lindor. And he doesn't deserve it more. But if you're going to make an incorrect decision, Bryce would be the better incorrect decision over Lindor. He's just been good, bro. I mean, look at the Phillies. Look at their offense. Their offense is not that bad, but without Bryce, what are they? The Mets, you can make arguments. Well, without Lindor,
But I can also make an argument that the Phillies have a much better pitching staff, so they're supported better.
Totally agree. That's why I picked Lindor first, because overall, they're a support staff in Philly.
Dom says Harper sucks. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly, Dom. I don't know what's happening right now, but I agree.
It hurts me so much to pick.
It doesn't even matter because Ohtani is on the Dodgers. He's batting .309. He's got 32 home runs. He's got 20. He's got 30-30 in a few games. Okay, because he's got 28 stolen bases already. He's got 76 RBI.
Well, Dominic, he's not so much a bum.
He scored 83 runs. Dude, what? This guy's going to hit over 300. He's going to have 45 home runs. He's going to steal 40 bases. He's going to have 100 RBI, and he's going to score over 100 runs.
Who's that?
Ohtani.
Right, but the problem is you got to remember, not only is Bryce Harper more important to his team than Ohtani is, because Ohtani has a much bigger, high payroll staff. Bryce Harper also...
You're giving too much love to Bryce Harper.
Well, listen, Bryce Harper also predicted the World Series parade in Washington in his first year in Philadelphia, and he was right. Give him some credit.
Dom says he's only good because of the players around him. I agree everything what Dom is saying right now. We bid actually. Ohtani's a gambling bum. Yeah, that may be true. That might be true, but he is very, very good at baseball too. We bid DJ Stewart adieu. Farewell. Thank you for all. Yeah, you did well for us last year when it mattered nothing.
Poor guy. I hope he does.
But that's
I like Winker and his stinker way better than Stewart.
oh.
Did I say that
Uh,
out loud?
you did. Pitching wise, let's look really quick at pitching wise. Where is there we go. What more can you say about Jose Buto and what he's done out of the pen? He's been outstanding. He's
Did he
found
buy himself a bullpen forever job though?
maybe.
Is he
Well,
the?
they said that they were stretching him out in that last. Remember, everybody was confused why he pitched 3 innings in that blowout game. They said that they were going to stretch him out if just in case they didn't get a start and they got Blackburn.
Is
Blackburn?
he the next Lujo?
Don't do that. My God, Lugo is going to win the Cy Young Award.
He's pitching amazing, right? But Buto wants to be a starter. We're forcing him on a bullpen job. Hey, listen, as long as we're paying
but if he's upset about it in the least, he's not showing it. He pitched well in Miami. I saw him coming off the mound, pumping his fist. Like he's still out there competing. And
Lugo is pretty good about it too, though. But yeah,
screw Lugo. Lugo was a little bit. I wouldn't be staying here. Stupid Royal. Well, maybe that's where he deserved to go. The Royals. Starting pitching candidates for next season. Who's a free agent next year?
We're still in the playoff race this season. Why are we talking about next season?
Let's just look at it really quickly.
All right, Jaime.
It's like only for you, Jaime.
Yeah, because it's like we're like in a playoff race now. We're trying to make it a playoffs. Well, what are we doing next season?
Corbin Burns. Oh,
just love where we're at, bro.
No, screw this guy. Corbin Burns, Zach Wheeler, Max Fried, Walker Buehler. That's an intriguing name. Max Scherzer. It's 173 years old. Shane Bieber. That's good. So those are the top ranked free agent pitchers for next year. I think Cole can opt out. I don't know. But that's fun to like kind of think about down the road. Really quickly, Keith. Vientos is solidifying himself as the future third baseman more and more every single day. He had a bomb to right field the other day. So he's showing power from pole to pole. He's making all the easy plays at third. He's making some better than average plays at third base, and I think we found ourselves a little keeper here, Keith.
You like poles to poles?
Pole to pole, yeah. A little sword fight action. If the poles,
I think he's been amazing. I mean, his. Okay, let me just take a step back. So, Brett Beatty, one of our biggest issues was his defense. So it turned out at the end of this year,
then he couldn't hit either.
At the end of his year this year, his defense got so much better because he worked with Lindor, and we all know Lindor is, I won't say a defensive whiz, but he's one of the best in the game, that's for sure. And he went ahead and helped Beatty raise his defensive game, but what was on Beatty was raising his offensive game, and it just didn't happen. So that created an opportunity for Vientos, which many of us Met fans thought Vientos should have been brought up in the first place, whether it was as a DH, and he would eventually be a backup as a third baseman. But he got sent down, and Vientos just grinded it out and grinded it out and grinded it out. And once Beatty lost his job, Vientos came up. And I got to say, Vientos has been a slightly above average defender and a way above average third baseman offensive player. Yep. So he's here to stay, Farace.
I love it. And you know what? Maybe it's best that it happened that way because we wouldn't have had JD Martinez. If Beatty had struggled coming out the gate, now you're like, okay, shit. Who? DJ Stewart's our new DH. that's where we would have been headed there. So I think it worked out for the best. They signed JD, 47 RBI. He's that vet guy. Him and Iglesias have been tremendous.
Davis or Martinez?
Martinez. I said Davis, son of a bitch.
No,
Damn it, I'm sorry. Oh,
it's me
okay.
doing that.
By the way, JD Davis was the he went to the Yankees. Now that what's this poor guy?
Bubble butt.
I felt like he'd be a good hitter in the league, but
I thought so too. But things change.
Dom, I thought you were talking about one of our guys. Biggest slump of the year, down to 274 batting average for Bryce Harper. They're all slumping, and they've lost 4 series in a row. And the Mets, I'm not going to say that it's going to happen or it's a good possibility, but the Mets are only 8 or 9 games behind the Phillies now. And
I heard a conversation about this today. Not likely we're going to get ahead of
the of course not.
But there is that possibility. And listen, if we get down to 135, 140 games,
8 games out,
we're only 3 or 4 out. I'm going to start wishing. I'm not going to lie. We'll see what happens, though.
Like teams like the Phillies, teams like the Yankees, they both had that big, huge buffer because they got off this scorching red hot starts. They're both struggling. The Yankees have the worst record. I don't know up until now with that sweep of the Phillies. By the way, thanks guys, appreciate that. So every now and then we could do each other favors. But like the Yankees have cooled off significantly. They had the worst record in baseball for a certain amount of time, but they're still 20 games over 500. The Phillies have lost 4 straight series, might be 5. They've lost 7 out of 10, but them too. They're 22 games over 500 because
I think the Jazz Chisholm pickup was huge for them. I really like that player, and I'm just going to say, I know a lot of my fans have maybe blast me for this, but we faced this guy for the last few years.
Winker had better stats.
What a great player he is! I'm so glad he's not in our division anymore. Even though he's on the Yankees, I'm so glad we don't got to look at this bohemian jackass anymore because he is such a talented kid.
Do you know that the Chicago White Sox have lost 17 straight games? They lost 15 or more twice this year. The Mets had a 250 winning percentage.
Oh, they're going to beat it.
The White Sox are currently I don't even know how one person goes through those turnstiles. The White Sox are 27. The Mets were an expansion team, 27 and 84, 40 games out of first place, 34 games out of the wild card, and a 243 winning percentage.
If I was a kid, I would go to those games, but as an adult, not wasting my time.
No, what are you going to do there?
When the Mets sucked, listen, the Mets were freaking terrible. I went to tons and tons and tons
92,
of games.
93.
Yeah, just because I was a kid,
85.
it was fun, and as an adult, my age, I'm not spending that.
There ain't no way. So that's the worst team in baseball, and then the worst team in the National League, the Rockies, 39 and 70. The Marlins right behind, 40 and 68. Let's take a look at what's coming up, Keith. Big time road trip coming up, a 10-game series. Have been 9. We've got a makeup game against Cardinals. You got the Angels for 3. Get your cheap, Diana. Yeah, you could do like a corporate team building exercise for under $100. You got the Angels for 3. Then you had to. This is, why do they do this to us? Why does baseball hate us? Go to California to play LA Angels.
And then run quick to the fucking St. Louis
Cardinals. Then back to Denver. Then to Seattle.
And then off to masturbation time.
Yes.
Did I say that out loud? I did.
Conversation got weird there. All right. So the Angels, where are we at here? The Angels are 47 and 61. They sold off. They sold off.
But they didn't really sell. If you look at the trade deadline, they stayed put. even though they sucked, which is really
Well,
weird.
and then really bad news for them is Mike Trout has another tear in his knee and he's done for the year.
That's the cause, or that's the risk of signing somebody so long term. So that's
Poor
why
guy,
I
man.
go back
I
to
feel
Bryce
bad because
Harper.
this guy was on track to be one of the all time greats. I mean, he's still going to be remembered as one of the all time greats of that generation,
Yeah,
that
but
10-year span.
who,
But what could have been, or
yeah,
what could still be? He could still have a Griffey end of his career. Not
who would you rather have had the last 5 years, Bryce Harper or Mike Trout?
what do you hate me tonight? Don't make
I
it.
do, and I
Mike
want an
Trout.
honest answer.
Mike
Who
Trout.
would you? Who
Mike Trout. Give me
really?
Mike Trout. I don't know.
For the last 5 years, I would take Bryce Harper, and because we're personal friends, how much I dislike Bryce Harper. But if you told me, hey, 5 years from now, who do you want, Bryce Harper or Mike
Dom
Trout?
says Trout. I'm with Dom.
He said it's easy.
Oh wait, we could use Stat Muse, right? Let's do that. Mike Trout, last 5 years stats. This is live, people.
I'm derailing the show so much because I could just throw
Okay.
stats at you, and you and I can make this show last like
Oh, of
5
course.
hours.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Mike Trout, in the last 5 years, 277, 103 home runs.
Mhm.
This is not giving me 350 games. Between August 1st, 2019 and August 1st, 2024. Let me bring up your
We had
new
355
favorite
games
player.
in hold on, 355 games in 5 years. Okay, so that means he missed over 250 games.
Yes. Wait. Okay. I'm gonna block you here. All right. Harper in the 5 year span. Harper has Trout 277, Harper 289.
Okay,
Well,
that's
I guess we go with averages. It would be
yeah,
easier to
that's
go with
comparable.
averages because of the games missed, but they have totals here. So he has 128 home runs. Does Harper to Trout's 103, but that's in 240 less, 218 less games.
Wait, how many games in 5 years? Trout versus
Trout 350, Harper 568. So
okay.
218
You want the guy that
game difference.
plays 350 or 528? Let me just start there before we go forward.
Mike Trout. You're not going to give me a St. Bryce Harper. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Right, remove the names. Just talk about the numbers. Of those two numbers, who do you want? A or B?
It depends because if the guy A who plays more games is not as good a player.
No. That's
What
not
if
my
it's Jed
question.
Lowry?
My question is, who do you want? A or B?
The guy who plays more games.
Okay, so B. I'm not gonna attach a name to it because I don't want to upset you. So go to the next stat.
Well, anyway.
I'm just trying to make a point. Which
No, I know.
contract do you think was better? Because for me, it's Harper. I hate him.
Oh well.
If I saw him in front of me, he's huge. He's more athletic and stronger.
But
He's
how
kicking
many
ass,
more
but
years
I
does
would get
Harper
that
have in
first
his
punt
contract? I don't
right
think
in
we
his
can make
face.
that. I don't think we can make that judgment yet. How far into the contract is Harper?
I'm just talking the last 5 years. That's it. I'm not talking
No,
about how far
you said
into it.
no. You said which contract would you rather have? And I
Yeah,
if
everything starts.
this is year 7 for
This is
Trout.
like a whole other show.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying, like, if we all started at zero, right? 5 years of Harper, 5 years of Trout, but they all start at the same time.
Trout.
I like Trout much better, but I think Harper would be the better person having the team. What has Harper done for his teams versus what has Trout done for his teams?
It's same.
I mean, Trout's got all these MVPs and all that, but where have the Angels been?
Well, Bryce Harper brought a title to DC after he left.
He did, and he also brought a parade to DC. But
all right, let's get back to the schedule real quick here. Because I lost it. There it is. All right, so you got the Cardinals game. That's a Monday, 5:15 p.m. Jesus, they got us all over the place. 9:40 on Friday and Saturday, 4:00 on Sunday, 5:15 p.m. on Monday. Rockies' first two games are 8:40. The Thursday game is at 3:10. Then Seattle, 10:10, 9:40, 7:10. 3 games, 3 different times in Seattle. I bet that Sunday game is that ESPN game. Yeah, it is.
You know, Seattle's not that bad of a team.
No, Seattle's in tied for first place, but only 4 games over. Colorado. These are all teams that like. This is it's a long road trip, and I don't want to say any road trip is easy, but this is. You got the Angels are 14 under, the Mariners are 4 over, Cardinals are okay. They're a few games over, and then who's the last team? The Rockies are 31 games under 500, but it's unpredictable in Colorado. You don't know what the hell's going to go on there. So again, to say any road trip's going to be easy, especially a 10-gamer, that's rough. But 7-3, I'm feeling it. Keith, what do you think?
Thought about it a lot. I'm hoping for 7-3, but money down, got to pick. I'm saying 6-4 in these next 2 games. It's just rough being on the road. You know, I see some struggles ahead, and
that's the thing. It's on the road. You're not sure. You got Blackburn starting on Friday. He's an unknown. You got some of these the relievers who pitched okay.
I could see the Mets just blowing up and doing a
7-9-1.
I mean, yeah, 8-2.
Well, listen, the rest of this month, just really quick, and then a lot of back and forth crossing time zones, right, Diana? So it's a lot of stuff going on, which is why I said baseball hates us. But looking even past that, just really quick for the month of August. So you got that road trip. You come home, you play the A's and the Marlins. Very winnable series at home. Then you got a test in the Orioles. That's a big test coming in. That's a really good team. And then you got another road trip to 2 teams that we're going to be competing with for the wild card spots, the Padres and the Diamondbacks. And then you finish out with the White Sox, and I'm a little scared of that. I don't want to lose any games to the White Sox.
So yeah. How do you spell trap? WHITESOX. I mean, that is the biggest trap series in the history of trap series. They suck.
Got a lot riding on that. We got our record. We got important games, you know, because that's coming out of the Diamondbacks and Padres, or Padres and Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I can. Well,
they give us 2 West Coast trips in the same month.
It's bullshit. I mean, we're getting slammed this month. You know, and we have a good history against the Diamondbacks, so I can see us winning that series.
A lot of Met fans out there. A lot of Met fans. A
lot of Met fans. And for whatever reason, when we go into Diamondback territory, we come out strong. Unlike, you know, the Yankees and the World Series. But it's so much fear for me when we start facing all these different teams away from home. Even though we haven't been great at home this year, I just worry about facing these other teams on the road.
Yeah, and it's a lot of trap stuff. So Mendoza's got to get the boys ready, which I have no doubt they will. And then just looking really quick ahead into September, you got 7 games with the Phillies in September. So you inch your way a little bit closer. Phillies continue to struggle. Mets have a good road trip. Now you're in shouting distance, and with 7 games still to go.
How's Wheeler doing this year? I saw he was doing good last time I checked, not too long
I
ago.
think he got lit up against the Yankees the other day.
But generally speaking, he's doing well.
So what?
He
I
shines
said to
against
sign
us,
him.
Farace. I mean, I'm just saying he shines against us. He has
Um,
a certain bitterness that
Jeez, why? Where are we at
we
here? All
could
right.
we paid
Wheeler's
him to
10.
do nothing for years and years while he was in surgery recovering. I don't know what
Well,
the
he
hell his
he put
problem.
together a couple of good halves.
Yeah, half
Dom,
this,
the White
half
Sox.
that.
Yeah.
What about the holes that we paid him full to have surgery and recover? So you know what? Screw you, Wheeler. We're gonna take the Phillies
No,
out.
no, no,
We're
no.
gonna
Don't
win
do that.
7 out of 8 against the Phillies. I'm tired of this shit. I'm just
Keith,
calling it right
Keith.
now, and it's not just out of anger, but it's really mostly out of anger. Flakata Phillies.
I like that though. But he did pitch well his last two years with the Mets.
Fudge him.
3.31 ERA, 3.96, 195 innings.
That's because he was a Met. He's no longer a Met, and those rules don't apply. Flakata.
And you're right about that. Rules are rules. Rules are rules. All right, let's close this bad boy out here. We're hoping 7-3. Keith, what you got here on the way out for the Metsies in
I
Metsy
just want
land?
to say that I'm super happy. I mean, from Iglesias' performance,
Us.
he's overperforming. I hope he stays that way. OMG. From, I mean, even Severino. I know Severino is in a territory where he's really never been in a long time in terms of innings pitched. I have faith in him. I think this team is exciting. I think all Met fans, regardless of what happens, should really, really enjoy this ride and stop bitching. Online, I haven't really seen people bitching, so it's not an accusation. I'm just saying keep that in mind as we continue down the
We've
road.
witnessed it before.
What's that?
We've witnessed it before.
We
Oh,
way witnessed it, and sometimes it's me. And I know I'm being a little long-winded, but I just want to say that I love this team. I am so grateful because I never expected to have this much enthusiasm and hope and where we are. I want to say thank you, David Stearns, Cohen, Mendy. You piss me off, but you're still doing a great job sometimes. Let's go Mets. Tomorrow, Blackburn. Make your Met moment, baby. OMG. Let's go Mets.
a team he's probably familiar with coming from the AL West against the Angels. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Yeah, that does it for us tonight. Let's go Mets. Big road trip coming up. 10-gamer. Again, we said the opponents are not great, but again, it's a road trip. You got Colorado in there. You're going LA to St. Louis to Denver to Seattle. So it's a lot of travel involved. So it's not as easy as it looks on paper. And then look, in May going into June, we didn't think we'd even sniff anywhere close to first place. We're 8 games behind the Phillies now. It's a possibility now. So stay tuned and enjoy this. This is a big fun next 2 months. And when they get back home and you live in the area, go out and support this team because they are busting their asses out there for us. A little stressful, but that's the way we like it. All right, we'll keep you posted.
Is a huge Bryce Harper fan. Just want to throw that out
Huge.
there. Huge.
All right, we keep you posted on what's going on over the next week or so in the Mets group. Peace out, everybody. Let's go Mets, and screw you, producer Joe. Peace.
Pull up the bunch.